Tonight on News 22, lottery prizes reach an all-new high. The city of Las Cruces is looking to revise its panhandling laws, and the Mesilla Valley Maze proves fun for the whole family. All that and more on News 22 Thursday.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Diana Castillo.
And I'm Amanda Adame.
The lines for lottery tickets soon may be longer than usual.
The Mega Millions jackpot and the Powerball went winnerless on Wednesday, meaning they both have lotteries that will have drawings this weekend, totaling around $1.3 billion. And just in case you were thinking of trying your luck, keep in mind that you're actually 258 times more likely to be struck by lightning this year than to win the lottery, according to the National Weather Service.
Speaking of lightning, we have some today.
We did, and we had lots of rain with it. Andres is next with your first look at weather.
Well, speaking of that lightning, it actually woke me up around like 7:45 in the morning. I don't know if you guys heard it for those who live on campus. That woke me up, so I made it on time to my classes. But right now, let's talk current conditions. We have cloudy skies, temperature at 51 degrees, winds at 13 miles per hour coming from the east, but our humidity 81%, dew point 45 degrees, and our barometer is at 30.26 inches. As for today, we reached our high of 57 degrees, which is well below average. We should be in the upper 70s for this time of year. And in 1991, we reached a record high of 89 degrees. And in 1966, we reached a record low of 31 degrees. We have seen some rain today. Like we said, we saw that lightning and thunders, and we've heard that thunder as well. And our yearly rainfall sits at 5.36 inches. More rain is still to come. I'll detail all of that coming up.
It doesn't look like there's a weather problem in the desert today with all the rain. However, we have been in drought. Today, the 63rd annual New Mexico Water Conference was held at the Las Cruces Convention Center. The conference discussed the problems the state faces with water quality and the future of New Mexico agriculture.
The things that happened at this meeting was we had these really good conversations with all these different players in the water arena. So I'd say we're already working with the state, but we identified areas that we can do more of that.
New Mexico's pecans seem to be getting some worldwide attention. A mayor of the Japanese city is set to visit NMSU to discuss pecan growth with the dean of the College of Aces and the Las Cruces mayor, Ken Miyagashima. The three will meet in Skeen Hall on Friday, October 19th in room N128.
The NMSU community is invited to meet President John Flores on Tuesday, October 30th. Starting at 2 p.m. in the auditorium at Corbett Center, President Flores will open with remarks and then take questions from the audience. He is especially interested in hearing from the community regarding the emerging vision for NMSU. The open forum will be available online. For more information, call the President's office.
You may not have realized it, but last Wednesday was National Fossil Day.
And what better place to celebrate than the Zoo Museum? News 22's Bryce Rewalt has the story.
The existence of dinosaurs is often amusing to most people, regardless of age. And Zoo Museum used this past weekend to provide family and friends with a chance to get a hands-on experience with fossils. Director of Zoo Collection Tiffany Santos had a whole lineup of activities, including eating dirt.
And we're going to do some little strat columns. So you can make an edible strat column. You can make different sections of dirt, which are our cookies, and then you can put different candies or fossils in there, so you can learn about how evolution worked and how our lower things are older, and as you go up, we get our younger things.
There were plenty of families and children in attendance. The most popular attraction seemed to be the life-size dinosaur displays. These life-size dinosaur fossils right here weren't just meant to attract families and children. It also attracted some local teachers looking to enhance their knowledge of fossils. Beth Inge has been teaching for 20 years here in Las Cruces. When she heard about this event, she was as interested as any other dinosaur-loving kid.
I came here today because I wanted to take a look around the museum to kind of see what Zoll has to offer in terms of educational opportunities for my students, since I'm a public school science teacher here in Las Cruces, and for my colleagues as well.
New Mexico State teaching policies require that evolution is taught to every high school student. Mrs. Inge claims she learned quite a bit at Zool and will be able to take that back with her to her classroom.
One of the things I really liked in this museum was the geologic timescale that they have above the wall, and they have fossils that kind of coordinate with those eras. And so you can see where trilobites fit in, you can see where dinosaur femurs fit in, you can see where other fossils within the fossil record fit into the grand scheme of the geologic timescale.
Zool Museum put on this event hoping to attract children looking to have some dinosaur fun. Little did they know they were going to be able to help a local teacher expand her knowledge on a topic she had been teaching for 20 years. News 22, Bryce Rewalt.
Arizona wildlife officials say authorities are investigating the deaths of 3 endangered Mexican gray wolves, including one found in southwestern New Mexico. The Arizona Game and Fish Department announced that male wolves were found dead in Arizona in September. Authorities did not release any details about the circumstances or where exactly the wolves were found. Efforts to reintroduce the wolves in Arizona and New Mexico have been ongoing for 2 decades.
A recent Supreme Court ruling has the city of Las Cruces thinking about rewriting their anti-panhandling ordinances. The American Civil Liberties Union declared the law to be unconstitutional because they distinguish between types of speech based on subject matter, function, or purpose. Las Cruces City Attorney Jennifer Vega Brown does not agree with the ACLU's decision, but the hopes they can be fixed quickly will be minor word adjustments. City Attorney Jennifer Vega Brown said she is unsure when revisions will be made to the city's panhandling ordinances.
Holding up a sign on a public sidewalk or any public property, holding up a sign, asking for money or whatever, that's permissible, that's legal. The problem occurs when these people start entering the roadway to retrieve money.
Stay tuned, Andres will be back with your national forecast. And later, don't depart. We have some fantastic art that we can all be a part. More on that when News 22 continues.
I'm so excited. We've got a brand new season of Jazzy Vegetarian with scrumptious plant-based recipes to please any palate.
Wow, that smells so good.
And with a little help from my friends like Broadway choreographer Chase Brock.
This is amazing.
The cast of Music Man. And jazz singer Kelly Jolly.
I'm ready for pie.
I'll show you how to cook deliciously vegan food on Jazzy Vegetarian.
Wednesday at 2 p.m. on KRWG-Public Media.
I want young adults to know that the world is a much bigger place than just the spot that they are occupying at this time. And PBS presents that in a very positive manner. I have left my PBS station a gift in my will. I want to be certain the programs presented by PBS are carried forward to future generations.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Thursday,
where news matters.
El Pasoans are putting away their art supplies after this year's Chalk the Block.
The Free Public Arts Festival took place on October 12th through the 14th. Even though it was canceled the first day due to rain, that did not stop a reported 45,000 people from coming out. Alyssa Tejas has more.
Zubia is an artist from El Paso, and this year he and his team are doing something different. He is working on a mural with spray paint. It's the first time they've done a piece like this.
Pretty awesome that the city's taken this route now with the arts. It's about time, I say.
The theme is slap sticker art.
Like different characters and different iconography, and then make it look like it's in a sticker, and then like people went and bam, bam, slapped it on the wall.
Zubia and other artists are working to create the piece to honor the Sun City.
I just like the challenge of it because it's a kind of a long wall.
Ben Fife, the deputy director of El Paso Museums and Cultural Affairs, says they had to bring the murals back.
I really missed seeing the murals come to life and seeing that process. So we partnered with Galavera Culture Shop. They curated a series of murals throughout the downtown involving artists who are local and also artists coming in from Philly, New York, and LA.
Walking around downtown El Paso, there's plenty to see. From big murals to small doodles. You can speculate or you can draw something of your own. Sergio Marquez says it's his first time at Chalk the Block. He came out from Sunland Park to check it out.
Amazing, like the detailing on chalk drawings. I mean, I was just blown back by it.
Yes. Artist and judge Tito Ortega says the art may look effortless, but it is a long and strenuous process.
Something I enjoy doing, but at the end of it, you're just so drained. The sun beating down on you all day, and you actually physically putting chalk into grooves and into porous concrete is really strenuous on the body.
Fife says people love the art festival, and the only complaint he gets is that it should be every week. Alyssa Tejas, News 22.
Fast food has become a major part of what Americans eat on a regular basis, and a new report from the CDC reveals just how much.
Luis Cázares has more in today's Health Minute.
Ordering a burger or a bucket of chicken from a fast food restaurant is something we all love to do. Some of us maybe a little too much. According to a new study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control, nearly 85 million U.S. adults consume fast food on a regular basis. One of the authors, Cheryl Freyer, says the role fast food plays in the American diet has not only grown over the years, but has also contributed to health risks like obesity, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. The data also showed that people who ate a lot of junk food varied by age, income level, and sex. Of the adults in the study who consumed fast food on any given day, about 45% were between 20 and 39, nearly 38% were 40 to 59, and more than 24% were 60 and older. According to the report, higher income families ate more fast food than middle or lower income families. And a slightly higher percentage of men said they regularly ate more fast food than women. For today's Health Minute, I'm Luis Cázares.
A climate change economist from the United Kingdom is finding that you may be paying a couple more dollars at the bar due to extreme weather conditions. Dabo Guan says harsh weather caused by global warming decreases barley production, which leads to a drop of beer production and an increase in price. Ireland will see a highest increase at almost $5 per pint. The United States will see a decrease in barley production and alcohol consumption due to the smaller number of barley exports. For the past 20 years, the Mesilla Valley Maze has brought families together with laughter and play.
And thanks to Nadia Lopez, we get to see that excitement through a fresh pair of eyes.
It was a cloudy day this past Saturday, but that didn't stop Megan Crady and her daughter McKenna from having a great first time at the Mesilla Valley Maze. The mother-daughter duo have lived in Las Cruces their whole lives, but never got around to visiting the maze until now.
For the price that it was, you get to do so much stuff. Like, we got to go on the hayride, we got to go through the maze, and like I said, you know, everything was only $24. And everything is pretty much included except a couple of things.
During the Halloween season, Megan's family traditionally throws Halloween parties and goes out to trick-or-treat, but Megan says there's definitely room for one more tradition.
Definitely. We really are going to come back every year, aren't we? Yeah.
Although it was McKenna and Megan's first time together at the Mesilla Valley Maze, they are one of thousands of families that come every year. Thousands of families and children who get to roll around in the giant hamster wheels and take part in Gulliver's Games. Mesilla Valley Maze owner Anna Lyles says it's about the families and bringing them back to tradition.
If you look at the entrance and you see all the families and they've got their coolers and mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and all the little kids, and they're just coming to spend the day together. No video, no outside influences, no advertising, just them.
That's why the maze means fall in the Mesilla Valley.
I think my favorite part is hearing the kids laughing and playing. I really love it when I hear them crying, but I don't want to go home.
And McKenna says everyone deserves this place. Nadia Lopez, News 22.
And these fall temperatures really give us a chance for these great fall traditions here.
Yes, and Andres is next to see if the rest of the country is enjoying them too.
Well, in for a chilly night across the entire nation. 31 in Cut Bank, which is exactly right below freezing. Onto our next map, though, I was curious to see how cold we're going to get on our next map, which is going to show us the National Weather Service did their whole winter outlook. We are going to see a wetter winter for us, which could mean drought relief for much of New Mexico and Arizona here in the coming months. And on our next map, we're going to see a storm system that will affect us here in the borderland. We have a system of low pressure as well as tropical moisture moving into most of Texas and into the south. Well, this moisture is going to push into the borderland, which is going to push our rain chances by Tuesday. I'll tell you more of that after the break.
Fresh Air with Terry Gross, weekday mornings at 11 on 90.7 FM and streaming live on KRWG.org.
On Shakespeare Uncovered,
I'll tell the world aloud what man thou art.
Romola Garai on a problem play about power, morality, and sex.
Did I tell this, who would believe me?
Measure for Measure with Romola Garai.
It's the best play he ever wrote.
On Shakespeare Uncovered.
Friday at 8:30 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Here's a place. I call it my happy place. You must be talking about chocolate. Wow, we finally made it.
Now, I know you ladies said that you wanted to see how the chocolate gets made.
This is one of the happiest days of my life. I want pretzels. Oh, look at this. I want chocolate. You can't have all that sugar. Watch me. Ladies, start your engines.
Saturday morning at 9:30 on KRWG Public Media.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning back in. We're going to take a look at our current temperatures across the state of New Mexico. Right now, mostly 40s and 50s all around, 54 in Deming, 51 in Las Cruces, and 41 in Ruidoso being our coldest spot. And for tomorrow, our expected highs will be somewhere around the 50s and 60s, 67 in Clovis, 67 in Albuquerque, 56 in Las Cruces, 66 in Deming. As for tonight, we're going to stay pretty cloudy out there. Chance of isolated showers for Alamogordo tonight at 47 degrees and a high 69 for tomorrow. And in Truth or Consequences, cloudy as well, 49, 68 for tomorrow. And Silver City, we do see those isolated chances of showers again in the mountain areas, 44 degrees and 64 for their expected high. And here in the city of the Crosses, we will see those isolated showers at 45 degrees tonight as well and a high of 66. I'll detail when our next storm system is in your 5-day forecast coming up.
A baby left on a doorstep in Spring, Texas.
Here's Jackie Loera with today's Southwest Minute.
A woman abandoned the child on Wednesday and it was caught on surveillance video. It wasn't her child. She said she was trying to leave the child with his father, but got the wrong house. Police found the father 12 hours later. The toddler wasn't hurt. Child Protective Services reunited him with his family. States that legalize recreational marijuana have seen an increase in car wrecks. Nevada, Oregon, Colorado, and Washington State have legalized pot. Neighboring states have seen 6% fewer accidents. Other states where marijuana is either decriminalized or allowed for medical use were not included in the study. A man trapped in a mine shaft in Maricopa County, Arizona was rescued. The man fell 100 feet into the shaft. Maricopa County deputies say the man was awake and alert while rescue teams were trying to pull him out. The man is now in the hospital. I'm Jackie Loera with the Southwest Minute.
The 5th annual Ag Day is underway on the NMSU campus. The programs are intended to educate people on how to care for livestock and keep them healthy. On Saturday, there will be labs focusing on grass and feed identification and reproductive techniques.
They learn better by doing, and a lot of people learn that way. And instead of us just spoon feeding them information, they want to actually do it with themselves. And so we try and offer as many opportunities in that respect as we can. People really want...
People who attend on Saturday are also invited to watch the Aggie football game.
Speaking of the Aggie football game, I hope they can pull off a win this weekend.
I do too, and Michaela is next at sports to tell us if they can.
Thanks, Mandy and Diana. Coming up in sports, the NMSU women's soccer team has been struggling this season, but that streak has ended. You can toss that remote because News 22 Sports is next.
I'm Rick Steves. Join me in Bulgaria, where we'll trace the country's complex history. From ancient Thracian tombs and medieval mountain monasteries to remote monuments to communism. And we'll also enjoy the contemporary culture found in its cities, from bustling Sofia to cosmopolitan Plovdiv to atmospheric Velika Tarnovo.
Saturday at 8 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Next time on Two for the Road, our epic Costa Rican adventure continues.
Let's start right now.
With plenty of tasty grub,
good Costa Rican grub, and we love it.
Plenty of adorable wildlife.
Feeding time for the baby sloths. I mean, how can you get any better than that?
And maybe a little splash of high drama. Y'all grab a chair or grab onto something, because it's going to be a heck of a ride. Is there a movie on this flight?
Saturday at 7:30 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Michaela Romero, and let's talk sports. The NMSU women's soccer team's hard work is finally paying off in a frustrating season. The women won their second game this season last weekend. They overcame the Chicago State Cougars 2-1. The Aggies are looking ahead to this weekend. They play Grand Canyon tomorrow night in Phoenix. Grand Canyon is 5-11 on the season and 2-3 in conference play. Then the Aggies travel to Bakersfield, California on Sunday to take on the Roadrunners. Bakersfield has shared the Aggies' struggles heading into Friday, and with a 4-10 record. Eileen Garcia will lead the way for New Mexico State, having a team high of 4 goals on the season. The NMSU men's tennis team is back from the ITA Regionals in Las Vegas. The Aggies picked up a few wins on day 1 of the championships Tuesday, and on Wednesday they had a tough time against Northern Arizona and Nevada on their doubles. The Aggies are determined to come back even stronger after this championship. And that concludes the team's fall season. They will be back in January for the dual season after they rest up. This weekend should be an exciting one for NMSU football fans. The NMSU football team is determined to have a win after a disappointing loss to Louisiana Lafayette. This weekend, the Aggies play at Aggie Memorial Stadium. The opponent is Georgia Southern on Saturday at 4 p.m. We beat the Eagles last year with a score of 35-27 on the heels of a fourth quarter comeback. The Eagles' overall record this season is 5-1, and the Aggies are 2-5. The Aggies hope to continue a winning streak against the Eagles on their stomping grounds. Here's what starting linebacker Javon Ferguson and head coach Doug Martin had to say.
You don't want to let the last game lose you the next game. So I feel like that's one of the big things we need to focus on this week, is trying to get that out of our system, but using that bad taste in our mouth to kind of propel us to exactly where we need to be as a defense.
We need to play a good team game. It seems like every one of our games is, one side plays well and the other side doesn't, and we've got to get to where we're playing well as a team, balanced as a team.
The weekend is almost here, and high school football is starting the weekend off a little earlier. Tonight at 7, the Mayfield Trojans are playing the Gadsden Panthers at the Field of Dreams. And on Friday night, 2 Las Cruces teams will be battling each other, the Oñate Knights and the Las Cruces Bulldogs. The Knights have not won a game this season while suffering 8 losses, while the Las Cruces Bulldogs have a record of 3-4. The Centennial Hawks will keep to look things going against Hobbs with their 8-game winning streak. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action next week. Still ahead on News 22, Andres will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, the royal family has a pocket-sized surprise.
Next time on A Chef's Life, what makes bourbon bourbon?
I feel like a cowboy with this thing.
You don't drink at all.
The whole reason the book tour came to Kentucky is I'm getting a Tastemakers Award, but to have them cooking my food is a little bit of a nail biter.
Saturday morning at 10:30 on KRWG Public Media.
Coming up on Austin City Limits. Saturday at 9 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Let's take a look at our top stories. After 2 winnerless lotteries, the stakes are high. This weekend, both the Mega Million jackpot and Powerball will draw, totaling around $1.3 billion. A recent Supreme Court ruling has left Cruces questioning its anti-panhandling laws after one group says it's unconstitutional. And Nadia Lopez shows us an up-close look of a local fall tradition, the corn maze.
On Monday, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry announced that they are expecting their first child. The Duke and Duchess began their first day of the Australian tour with an official welcome ceremony in Sydney, where they were presented with baby gifts. The gifts were given to Meghan and Harry by the Australian governor. Meghan and Harry also visited Sydney's Tarragona Zoo. They then traveled across the harbour by boat to the Sydney Opera House. Inside, they watched a performance by the Barngora Dance Theatre.
Oh, that's a cool story.
I know, what a surprise.
I'm pretty happy for them. Well, let's talk weather. Well, how do you guys liking these fall temperatures so far?
Oh, I love them. I want them to stay around for a while.
I love them too. We've been cloudy like all week, and we finally are going to see a tad bit of a warm up. Come tomorrow, we're going to see a high 66. We do have that 10% chance of rain. And Saturday, we're going to see the sun peek in, another high of 66. But on Sunday, we are going to drop down again to 61. We're going to pick to warm up again in the upper 70s before our next rain chances move into the area.
And don't forget, you can catch all of today's aired stories and past newscasts on our YouTube page at youtube.com/KRWG News 22.
And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for show updates and to see what the News 22 team is up to. And that's all for News 22 Thursday. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.
Tune in next week for more news across the Southwest. I'm Amanda Adame.
And I'm Diana Castillo.
I'm Andres Valle. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a este breve informativo de Noticias 22. Les saluda Gaby Hernández. Un hombre terminó hospitalizado luego de que la expareja de su novia lo apuñalara en repetidas ocasiones. Nicolás Bravo, de 22 años, fue recluido en el centro de detenciones del condado de Doña Ana por un cargo de asalto agravado con un arma mortal y otro por alterar evidencia. Bravo entró al baño de una iglesia donde se lavó las manos y trató de quitar las manchas de sangre de su ropa. Al intentar huir de la iglesia, Bravo fue detenido por varios feligreses quienes lo entregaron a las autoridades. La víctima fue trasladada al Centro Médico Regional Mountain View con lesiones que no ponen en riesgo su vida. Un hombre buscado por cargos relacionados con un apuñalamiento que ocurrió hace 2 meses en Anthony fue arrestado el miércoles en El Paso. Ezequiel González, de 25 años, es acusado de asalto agravado. Los detectives del sheriff del condado de Doña Ana dicen que el cargo se debe a un incidente que ocurrió la madrugada del sábado 25 de agosto. Poco después de la madrugada, varias personas vieron a un vehículo gris de 4 puertas que conducía hacia la residencia. Los testigos dijeron a los detectives que 2 hombres se involucraron en un argumento que se convirtió en una confrontación física en la cual González se involucró. Un testigo asegura que González apuñaló al hombre de 23 años. González fue trasladado al centro de detención del condado de Doña Ana. Para Noticias 22, Gaby Hernández.